Everything felt normal that morning, just another quiet day at the office before everything suddenly changed without warning. People were working, chatting softly, sipping coffee, unaware that something unexpected was about to disrupt their entire reality. Daniel Reyes sat at his desk, focused on his work, completely unaware that his life was about to shift. Then suddenly, every screen in the office flickered, breaking the calm atmosphere and pulling everyone's attention instantly. A strange message appeared, bold and cold, sending a wave of confusion through everyone in the room. It read clearly, "By the end of today, one person here will lose everything they have worked for." Daniel stood up slowly, trying to understand what was happening as tension quietly spread around him. Whispers began forming across the office, people exchanging uncertain looks, unsure if this was real or a mistake. Fear started creeping in, subtle at first, but enough to make everyone feel slightly uneasy. Daniel walked through the office, observing his coworkers, noticing how quickly their behavior was beginning to change. Suddenly, another message appeared on every screen, stronger this time, more serious and impossible to ignore. It confirmed there would be no appeal, no explanation, just one outcome by the end of the day. Daniel felt his chest tighten as reality began sinking in, realizing this situation might be real. Co-workers who once trusted each other now looked at one another with growing suspicion and silent doubt. Someone quickly minimized their screen as another passed behind, hiding something that felt important. Meetings became silent, filled with tension instead of collaboration, as fear slowly replaced teamwork. Daniel tried to focus, but his thoughts kept drifting toward the same question again and again. What if it was him? What if everything he worked for disappeared by the end of the day? In the break room, conversations turned into whispers, and eye contact became something people avoided completely. Even simple actions like holding a coffee cup became tense, hands slightly shaking under pressure. Two co-workers whispered privately, their tones serious, as if planning something behind everyone else. Phones lit up quietly, secret messages being sent, suspicion growing deeper beneath the surface. Someone deleted a file that did not belong to them, choosing self-preservation over honesty without hesitation. Daniel watched everything unfold, realizing the office was slowly turning into something unrecognizable. Arguments began quietly, voices controlled but filled with frustration and hidden fear. Sarah held her documents tightly, her expression revealing she no longer trusted the people around her. False errors began appearing in reports, someone clearly trying to sabotage others to stay safe. Daniel confronted Kevin, searching for answers, but found only silence and a guilty expression. Kevin avoided eye contact, unable to explain his actions, knowing what he did was wrong. Disappointment filled Daniel's expression, realizing trust was breaking faster than he expected. The office no longer felt united, people sat isolated, protecting themselves instead of working together. Some even began recording others secretly, collecting information that could be used later. Emails flooded inboxes rapidly, accusations, reports, and desperate attempts to avoid being the chosen one. Daniel sat alone, feeling the weight of everything collapsing around him. His hands hovered over the keyboard, unsure of what decision he was about to make. The voices around him felt distant, distorted by the pressure building inside his mind. Time seemed louder now, every second ticking like a countdown towards something unavoidable. A file appeared in front of him, something that could shift the outcome if used carefully. He hesitated, knowing this decision could protect him, but at the cost of someone else. His finger hovered over the mouse, the moment stretching as his thoughts battled within him. Daniel closed his eyes briefly, remembering how things used to be before fear took over. He remembered laughter, teamwork, and trust, things that now felt completely lost. But reality pulled him back, and fear once again took control of his thoughts. In that moment, Daniel made a decision he would later regret deeply. The email was sent instantly, carrying consequences that could never be undone. A wave of regret hit him immediately, but it was already too late to change anything. Around him, the office continued breaking apart, trust completely gone between coworkers. The day continued moving forward, but tension only grew heavier with each passing minute. People were no longer just afraid, they were emotionally and mentally exhausted. Silence filled the office, not peaceful, but heavy with fear and uncertainty. Then suddenly, every screen lit up again, forcing everyone to stop and look. Daniel froze, sensing something important was about to be revealed. A new message began appearing slowly, word by word, increasing tension across the room. Everyone stood still, waiting for answers to everything that had happened. The message revealed the truth: everything today was part of a controlled experiment. Daniel felt his stomach drop as realization hit him all at once. No one was ever going to lose their job, the fear was never real. Around him, people began understanding what they had done to each other. Guilt spread quickly, visible on every face throughout the office. Daniel struggled to accept how fear had changed his actions so easily. He remembered every decision, every betrayal, and every moment of weakness. Sarah sat quietly, realizing how quickly fear had destroyed trust between them. Kevin looked away, understanding his actions could not be undone. The office felt completely different now, filled with regret instead of fear. Daniel walked slowly, feeling the weight of everything that had happened. Another message appeared, revealing the final truth behind the experiment. It showed clearly that fear itself was the real enemy all along. Everyone sat silently, processing the consequences of their own actions. Daniel's hands trembled slightly as he accepted the truth. The experiment was over, but the damage it caused remained deeply inside them. People exchanged glances, but trust was no longer easy to rebuild. Daniel stood alone, realizing his choices had changed how others saw him. The final message faded, leaving behind silence and reflection. Employees slowly began leaving, carrying the weight of regret with them. Daniel stayed behind, staring at the empty office as the sun began to set. He realized the hardest truth: fear can destroy unity faster than any real threat. Standing there alone, he understood how quickly everything had fallen apart. His mind replayed every moment, every decision shaped by fear. He saw how people turned against each other without any real enemy present. Sarah remained quiet, knowing trust once broken is difficult to restore. Kevin stood alone, facing the consequences of his choices in silence. The office felt empty now, not physically, but emotionally broken. Daniel walked toward the exit slowly, carrying lessons he would never forget. He paused at the door, looking back at everything one last time. The office behind him looked calm again, but nothing felt the same anymore. He stepped outside into the evening, the city continuing as if nothing happened. People walked by normally, unaware of what had just taken place inside. Daniel sat down, trying to understand how fear had controlled him so easily. He realized the real danger was never the situation, but how people react to fear. People often destroy trust themselves, believing they are only trying to survive. Daniel stood up slowly, knowing he needed to change moving forward. His expression became calmer, filled with awareness and understanding. The city lights reminded him that even broken trust can heal over time. He walked forward with clarity, choosing courage instead of fear. He knew he could not change the past, but he could shape his future. Fear can destroy unity, but awareness can rebuild what was broken inside us. If this story touched you, subscribe for more real stories.